So next up is Marco.
That's him.
Is he beautiful and intelligent?
Thanks, guys.
Says here, Marco is the director of the Golden Age. Is that a David Bowie song?
It is. It's a lot of...
Bop, bop, bop. Ooh, Golden Years. Oh, do. Anyway, if it was a David Bowie song, it would also be a reference to a project space in Chicago, Illinois, dedicated to sharing ideas through exhibitions, performances, and printed matter. Marco, you will know well, he did that spying eye that was the PK poster for Volume 11. So, huge hand, please. Here's Marco.
Hey guys, how's it going? So this is Golden Age. My partner and I, we present publications, music, editions, and artwork from emerging artists. We started because we wanted to participate in the Chicago art community and bring our international community that we felt like we were a part of here. And so this evening I'm going to be talking about purity in art. It's a subject that's very near and dear to my heart. It's something that's important in my philosophy of like what strong art is and how that can have a positive effect on a person's well-being. So why is it important to have pure art around, to have purity? It's because the world is dirty. You have trash. You have, a pigeon who could be eating your salad. Public transport, and this almost movie-like dirty pedway area. And so how to spot purity? Just like anything else, I think being able to recognize it's the most important thing. And I think recognition can be just as personal as your taste in food. This is an example of reduction. So Marius Eng, in his sculptures, photographs, and paintings, appropriates, combines, or reconstructs objects from everyday life. This is a heraldic symbol. This is called saltire. It's rendered in wood. This is a limited color palette, a great example of that from Alex Fuller, who's a Chicago-based designer. The book is called The Incredible Journey That Is Consciousness. He takes blue, red, yellow, and just the three forms, and has a Bauhaus-inspired color study. So this is lack of ornamentation. That's another element. This is the brutalist architect Harry Weiss's William J. Campbell United States Courthouse in downtown Chicago. These constraints, having these like very minimal forms, get us to a good place. So the last one is having an overall cohesive vision. Andrea Zettel, she's an artist with an ongoing project since 1991 called the A to Z Institute of Investigative Living. So this is a small space that she constructs, and it's intended to take a large space and make it smaller with these small segmentations. So what isn't pure is clutter, the unnecessary aggressive uses of color, egotism, in your face. These are all examples of the impure, but I'm prepared some illuminating bits here. So the first one is John Curran. The first thing is no needlessly naughty paintings. Sexism, these are crassly commercial 16th century renderings of almost pornographic scenes. This is unnecessary. No one needs to see this. Up next, we have no garish embellishments. Now, Jeff Koons, he mounted this solo exhibition at the Palace of Versailles, and this is really an example. Imagine being around this work, imagine living around this work, being in this space. You'd be a maniac to have to enjoy this. No fantastical self-referential imagery. So this is Matthew Barney. He's a contemporary American artist, and it's a cover shot from a film he produced. It depicts him climbing to the top of the Guggenheim. There's long winding shots. There's just no reason for anyone to be doing something like that in that costume. So up next we have historical and contemporary examples. Now we've talked about why it's important, and we've given some examples of the impure. Let's look at the historical and contemporary examples that are really showing purity. So this is Bart van der Lek. He's the son of a house painter. He was a large part of the De Stijl movement. He uses abstraction as a way of making the representational formal. For instance, here he turns a skyline into a series of shapes. I mean, for me, this is aesthetic purity at its greatest. Agnes Martin. Now, her signature style uses lines, grids, and fields of extremely subtle color. As a painter, she also relates representational images, but in an abstract way, like this is a flower from 1960. So this is Atsuko Tanaka. She's part of the Gutai movement, which is a group of young Japanese artists in the 1950s. She had a fascination with infinity, sound, light, and spirit, and the festival. And this is embodied in this work, which is from 1955. This is Megan Plunkett. She's born in Southern California in the 1980s. She's an artist whose formally abstract work obliquely channels surf culture. She makes sculptures in two-dimensional works, and this is a cloth of neoprene that's been tie-dyed. This is John Raffman, who's a Canadian conceptual artist living between New York and Montreal. This is an image made using Google Street View, so the artist walks around and takes screenshots as if he were taking snapshots like a street photographer. And lastly, we have Derek Chan. Derek Chan is one of the most straightforward artists we've looked at thus far in representation. He explores his aesthetics through naturalism, sunsets, moonscapes, and other earthscapes. He has a very reduced palette and a unique pictorial sensibility. And so lastly, just to think, these abstractions come from life. You can see these every day. And I think by drawing these comparisons, you can see these things while you're in the gym, you know, taking a walk. And recognizing that aesthetic purity makes the world your respite. It's not so dirty anymore. And you can find purity anywhere. And then the world's a lot more beautiful.
Thank you, Marco. That was wonderful. I'm sorry to say I haven't been to the Golden Age yet, but I will get there. And I'm glad to say I have not been to Harry Weiss's courthouse or correctional center. I won't go there.